everybody. I don't feel particularly buggy today. Just kind of feeling like tired. You know, hopefully the day will get better. We'll have some fun. I'm feeling, something interesting. Okay, we'll see you later.
Good morning, everybody. Whoops, it's a little dark. Good morning, everybody. I'm out on City Island today. I kind of went out of my way a little bit to find a little quiet spot so we could talk about current event, life stuff. By the way, did you like the little thing where I was brushing my teeth? And I don't know, sometimes I try to think of like stuff that's like goofy and funny to, change the vlog up, because a lot of times it's either I'm out road tripping, on the road, or I'm talking and I try to find something. Sometimes it's just to amuse myself. Something different to throw in there, to throw a monkey wrench and, change it up, not the same thing. I just came up on 160 vlogs since I started doing the vlog, and so every once in a while I gotta figure out some way to change it up. I think I'm gonna sit in this thing. I'm on this boardwalk that's out in City Island, and I wanted to talk about something that is like sort of hard to talk about in a way. For me, when I see things on the news, like I'm gonna put my glasses on so I don't squint, because I hate watching myself squint. I see the stuff with the terrorist attacks, okay, and I don't know how to approach talking about that exactly. I'm like conflicted, because I see a lot of YouTubers do that and they put their 2 cents. And the one thing I'm kind of afraid of is I'm afraid of putting my opinion out there and people like judging me on my opinion. But that's sort of life, and so I don't usually talk about stuff. And starting with like around the time the Orlando, I don't know what they call it, the Orlando shooting in the nightclub. That was pretty close to home. That is about an hour and a half's drive from where I live, and yeah, it's pretty scary. Somehow more scary that it's like somebody thought that whole plan up and thought into personally go in there and shoot all those poor people. It's pretty scary, just the thought of that, the whole planning of that. And like, I think it seems to me, see, I'm gonna like throw my opinion in here, and if you don't like it, you don't like it, but it's just an opinion, it's not a fact. The bombing thing is like, you make one bomb and you take it and you set it off usually, and sometimes the people who are in the bomb, are expiring with the bomb. But when you shoot somebody, it's like all these individual acts, I guess, of shooting all these people. And I forget how many people was it were shot, but it was quite a few. See, my memory's not good, so if I go to say it's like 40 people, I can't remember very good. But anyway, so I'm basically like talking about it to say why I don't like to talk about it. Is, yeah, for the reason that I don't want to be judged on my opinion. And it's like, your opinion is just your opinion, and it's just how you react. Everybody reacts differently to that stuff, and my reaction is just basically terrible, and I feel sad for it. And I usually feel sad for the day, and then I sort of try to block it out, because it seems like there's been so many terrorist things going on, in the last 10 years and beyond. It's like I feel like I start to get a little bit of numb to it just every day. And personally, I try to like absorb the good things in the world, because there's plenty of good people and good things, and there's a lot of bad things too. But I try to sort of like absorb the things that happen good in the world, and try to reject the things that are negative, or forget it and just sort of bury it instead of dragging it around. It would be different if it happened to somebody I knew, I guess. I would take it personally, but I haven't known anybody that's been involved in that. So that's the reason why, I guess in a nutshell, that's the simple reason why I don't talk about when people are in shootings and things like that in the news, although I feel personally bad for all those people. I sincerely do. I just don't feel like comfortable commenting about it because I don't, yeah, it's just not, I just don't want to be judged for my lack of sympathy or too much sympathy, or, you know, and as far as like all the police shootings and stuff, I feel really bad for the police that are involved in that, because the police have a job to do and they are there to protect, and when they get caught in those circumstances, like the Dallas shooting and stuff like that, it just seems like it's not fair, because they're the courageous people who choose those tough jobs, you know, going out to protect you and me from things, and then unfortunately they lose their lives and their families suffer because of it. And I really feel bad for the cops. I feel bad for anybody who's killed, but generally the police are the good guys, and they have it in their heart to choose that profession to really be our lifesavers. I mean, they're there to protect us. There's really nobody else there, the police and firefighters. So I do feel really strongly about the police who get involved with all this stuff. And they, you know, even though okay, so cops are involved in situations where, you know, there may be a shooting or something and they survive, but mentally they have to drag that stuff on their back for the rest of their lives, you know, when they're involved in some kind of massacre or stuff. Even just seeing that stuff, maybe not even being there, is terrible. Speaking from personal experience of being a news photographer and being at the scenes of crimes and murders and, you know, all these terrible car accidents, it compiles on you very quickly. And I only really did it for 7 years, but just the daily exposure to things that happen like that, it really takes a toll on you mentally. So I wanted to make that short, and so let's go exercise, and then I got to do some shopping. So the rest of this vlog, I don't know if it's going to be good or not good, but I'm going to go exercise and then go do some shopping and do some errands and take you guys with me. I know it's windy and stuff, but I just want to take a second to admire Old Glory. Just a couple seconds to look at the flag, take me back to what it stands for and what America stands for. Unfortunately, the wind has turned. Now we can see it better. The wind turned there. Sorry about the wind.
They say the best weapon is one you never have to fire. I respectfully disagree. I prefer the weapon you only have to fire once. That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. For your consideration, the Jericho. I'll be throwing one of these in with every purchase of 500 million or more. It's a piece.
I had to stop by the motorcycle shop today to get an oil filter. I always like to look at these new bikes. This bike, I believe, is a completely electric motorcycle. No engine, no exhaust, no carburetors, no gasoline. Just, I guess, big batteries and big motors. Must be pretty weird. I've never ridden one, but it's probably a completely different experience. I love these Triumphs, these old school, especially the Scrambler, which is basically a remake of one from, I think, the 60s or 70s. I always like it when they have the sort of like off-road tires on a street bike. Just cool looking. There's a very cool museum of race bikes up here, upstairs, that I go look at every once in a while. You can see all the cool pictures of some of the people that they sponsored back in the old days. Look at that thing. I wonder what size engine that is. I love these old ones with the painted frames. Look at this sign. They race with no brakes. Look at these. I'm always fascinated by these. When people had these back in the day with this funky electric green orange paint job, Trail 70s, those are like the shit, excuse my expression, the shit back in the day. Because if you had one of those, you were like the king of the neighborhood. A Trail 70. So cool. It's almost like they pretty much got everything. I love these little mini bikes. Look how awesome that is. If you were a 10-year-old kid with one of these, man, you had it made. That's what I always wanted. That was always my dream, is to have one like that. Maybe I should buy one now that I can afford it. I'm at Kmart right now, and I'm looking for flashlights. I need one of those broad light, like a broad beam, but very small, like one of those LED ones. I've got a bunch of them at home, but none of them are like small and bright at the same time. So it's really hard to shop for flashlights because you can't always test them. So you just sort of have to buy them and try them out and hope you get something you like, or just take it back and keep looking.
We reset this counter and moved them down here.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Anything else I can help you with?
That's it. So I think this one might work. It's a 90 lumen, which is pretty bright. I always try to look for something that has a really bright wide beam. So hopefully this will work, because the guy actually took it out for me and let me try it. I'm trying to find a dark area, but also it's kind of got a wide area as well as the spot thing. This is even shooting through the package too. Check it out. That looks pretty cool. Look how blue that looks. So I'm hoping next time I do a abandoned house, this will have some positive effects on my next abandoned video. See these guys back here? They're pumping, there's a BB gun loose out there, and they're pumping the BB gun and shooting it. You know, one of those air guns? That scares me. Why they would be pumping a BB gun, and why would it be loose out of the package sitting there too? That's worrisome. I always had this thing about trying on hats. Does this like say I'm on vacation? Nope. Have you ever been in a store and you hear a song just causes you to walk differently? You feel like kind of sashaying